Hello friends, I am CMA Ratna here. Today I came with costing, that is CMA first group costing, employee cost, labor chapter. The questions are exclusively chosen from ICMAI. If you are happen to be a CA student, still you can watch this video, and this is equally important for CA students as well. So we'll start now. First question. From the following particulars, calculate the earnings of workers X and Y and also comment on the labor cost. Okay. Standard time allowed is 20 units per hour. Normal time rate is given 30 rupees per hour. Differential rates to be applied. What are the differential rates? 80% of piece rate when below standard, 120% of the piece rate at or above standard. In a particular day of 8 hours, X produces 140 units and while Y produces 165 units. Here what is asking us to find out? Is asking us to find out, calculate the earnings of worker X and Y, and is also asking us to comment on the labor cost. Okay. Standard time allowed is 20 units per hour. 20 units per hour in the sense, in a day how many hours? In a day we have 8 hours. We can say standard output in a day must be how much? 20 units in a hour into 8 hours a day, that is 20 into 8 is nothing but 160 units to be produced in a day. Okay. And next what is saying, if efficiency is below standard, rate, differential rates is saying, differential rates, if efficiency is below standard, 80% of piece rate has to be paid. At or above standard, 120% of piece rate. Okay. And rate per hour is given as 30 rupees. You write here, rate per hour is given 30 rupees. Rate per unit is not given. So how to find out? See, in 1 hour 20 units has to be produced. For one, I'll take another color pen. In 1 hour 20 units has to be paid, and in 1 hour 30 rupees we are paying. It means 30 rupees we are paying for producing 20 units. It means 1.5 paisa per unit. Right. Now we will see what is the efficiency first. Here I will write efficiency of X and Y. Standard time allowed for them is, standard units, standard output, they should produce 160 units in a day and 160 units in a day. But actually how much they have produced? Actually they end up producing actual production 140 and 165. I'll write that one also here. Actual production X 140 and Y 165 units. Here I'll write X 140 and Y 165. Efficiency, how we will check? Efficiency is actual production, actual units by standard, actual by standard. This is 140 divided by 160 is 87.5 is 87.5. 165 divided by 160, 103 percentage, that is 103 percentage, means this person is below standard, this person is above standard. The rates given here for the X is a below standard person, he will be paid how many units he produced? He produced 140 units. Rate per unit 1.5 paisa. But as he produced below, his efficiency is below standard, so he will be get paid only 80 percentage. See, this is what he have given, 80 percentage. And the person next to Y is above standard. When above standard person, he will be paid 120 percentage. So how many units Y produced? 165 units. 165 units into 1.5 is the rate per hour into, sorry, not rate per hour, rate per unit into 120 percentage. So 140 into 1.5 into 80 percentage, that is 168 rupees will be paid to the first person, that is X. 165 into 1.5 into 120 percentage, that is 297 is paid to Y. Right? When I say what is the labor cost, I will write here labor cost for X. See, X was produced, how many units he produced? 140 units produced. X produced 140 units and he got 168 rupees. So labor cost, I can say 168 rupees he got paid for producing 140 units. So 168 divided by 140 is 1.2 rupees per 1.2 rupees per unit. That is a cost per unit. For the Y, he produced 165 units and he got 297 rupees. 297 rupees is the amount for producing 165 units. 297 is the amount for producing 165 units. 297 divided by 165 is 1.8 per unit. This is a first question. Done? Right. We will move to the second question. X, Y and Z are three workers working in a manufacturing company and their output during a particular 40 hours week. 40 hours week, I will underline it. Under their output is given. This is the output respectively. The guaranteed rate per hour is 10 rupees per hour. See, guaranteed rate is given 10 rupees per hour. Low piece rate is 4 rupees per unit. High piece rate is 6 rupees per unit. High task is 100 units per week. Compute the total earnings and labor cost per unit under the method is Taylor's, Merrick and Grant task bonus. So under these three methods we need to calculate the labor cost. See, that is what is said, labor cost and total earnings of the employees. For that, first we will write some working note. What is the working note? See, their output during the 40 hours of week, output, I can say this is the actual output they produced. actual output A, B, C 96, 111, 126 respectively. Guaranteed rate is given. I'll give some space and I'll write here guaranteed rate per hour, that is 10 rupees per hour. Low piece rate is 4 rupees. See, in the examination also I recommend to write like this. Low piece rate is 4 rupees per unit and high piece rate is 6 rupees. Per unit. High task unit per week. High task, I can say this is a standard output. Standard output must be 100 units per week. Compute the total earnings and labor cost per unit. Labor cost per unit we need to find out, and the total earnings of the employees X, Y and Z under the 3 methods given below. Right, one by one we will see. First method, I will write the formula for the first method, that is a Taylor's. For this, the formula for this is if the efficiency percentage is less than 100%. If your efficiency percentage is less than 100%, then you will be get paid, that is a piece rate 80% of normal piece rate. You will be get paid 80% of normal piece rate. If your efficiency is equal to at or above 100%, then you will be paid 125% of normal piece rate. Right, here first we will find out the efficiency of the employees. There are the 3 employees A, B and C. Standard output must be how much? Standard output must be 100 units for every employee. But how many units they produced? Actual output 96, 111 and 96, 111 and 126. So efficiency, how we will find out? Efficiency is actual divided by standard. So efficiency in terms of the percentage, this is the 96%, this is the 111%, this is 126%. So this person is the first person is, what is his percentage? Less than 100%. When his efficiency is less than 100%, he will be getting paid at 80% of the wages. So this person is less than 100%. This person efficiency is, so he will be getting paid at 80% of his piece rate, and this person above 100%, so he will be getting 120% of the piece rate, and this person is also getting 120% of the piece rate. See, this is for your understanding I am writing, no need to write in the examination. Then how to calculate the labor cost? How to calculate for the person X or worker X? Worker X actually how many units he produced? He produced 96 units he produced. Per unit the rate is given. Where is the rate given? Normal rate is given. normal rate is given. This is 6 rupees. This one normal rate is this one is the low rate. Low rate we don't consider, only this rate we will consider. This is the normal rate, 6 rupees. It should get paid per unit, but as his efficiency is less than 100%, he will be getting paid at only 80%. So 96 units he produced, per unit 6 rupees, but as his efficiency is less than 100%, he will be getting paid only 80% of his total earnings. So it means 460 rupees 0.80 only is earnings, right? Coming to the worker Y, has worked for, his efficiency is 111%, and he produced how many units he produced? He produced 111 units. He produced 111 units. He produced into rate per hour. Rate per unit is 6 rupees into 120%. He will be getting paid 111 into 6 into 120%. That is 799 rupees 20 paisa. 799 rupees 20 paisa is the amount for second person. And the third person, he produced 126 units. Per unit rate is 6 rupees, and his efficiency is more than 100%. So 120%. 120 into 6 rupees into 6%, you can say 120 units into 6 rupees into 120%, that is 864 rupees he will be getting paid as per the Taylor's method. Getting my point? Now we will go to next method. The next method here is Merrick. I'll write here second one, Merrick. Under this method, first I will write the formula. Merrick differential piece rate. Merrick differential piece rate. If your efficiency is up to 83%, if your efficiency is up to 83%, you will be getting paid at normal piece rate. If your efficiency is 83% to 100%, then 110% of your ordinary piece rate. Ordinary piece rate. 100% and above, then 120% of ordinary piece rate. So this is the formula. Now we will substitute the information given in the formula for the worker X. Worker X, what is the efficiency here? I'll come back here. 96%. 96% comes here in the second slab. 83% to 100%. So his earnings are, how many units he produced? 96 units he produced. 96 units he produced. 96 units he produced, and he will be getting paid per rate per hour is how much? 6 rupees. Sorry, not per hour, per unit. 6 rupees. 6 rupees per unit into the how much he will get? 111 rupees. Sorry, 11%. For the Y also we will check. His efficiency is 111, in the sense he will come under 100 and above. So 111 units he produced. Rate per unit is 6 rupees and 120% of his wage rate. And for the jet, 126 units he produced, and the rate per unit 6 rupees and 120% he will be getting paid. So 96 into 6 into 110%, that is 633.6 rupees. 111 into 6 into 120%, 79992. Next 126 into 6 rupees into 120 percentage, that is 907.2 rupees he will be getting paid, right? Next one, last one, Gantt task bonus plan. Here I will write Gantt task bonus plan. First I will write the formula, then you will understand easily. The formula for this is, if your efficiency is below standard, then you will be getting paid guaranteed time rate. Guaranteed time rate Guaranteed time rate if your efficiency is at standard at 100%, then 120% of time rate. If your efficiency is above standard, then high piece rate for the entire units. High piece rate. Now in the formula we will substitute the question for the employee X. Employee X is below standard. When this person is below standard, employee X is a below standard, that is 96% below standard. In the sense, he should get paid only guaranteed time rate. Time rate is given. If you see the question, time rate is given. Somewhere we wrote guaranteed rate per hour. I will take another color pen. Guaranteed rate per hour is 10 rupees. Like that, how many hours he worked? See, go back to the question. In the question is said 40 hours of a week. See, in a week he is working for 40 hours. Per hour 10 rupees is the amount. So guaranteed time rate, in the sense 40 hours he worked and 10 rupees per week he will be getting paid. So 40 into 10 is 400 rupees. And the next Y is at standard. Y for performance is 111, in the sense is above standard. So he will be getting paid at high piece rate. What is the high piece rate here? High piece rate is this one. High piece rate is 6 rupees. So the unit is produced by Y is 311. Here this one. Units produced by Y is 311. Units into rate per unit, that is 6 rupees per unit, is 311 into 6 is 366. Next, worker Z, he produced 126 units into 6 rupees per hour per unit. 126 into 6 rupees, that is 756 rupees is the amount. You check. I think you understood this one. Next we will go to the next problem. These are the total earnings. See, one second, we missed something here. These are the total earnings, but he asked labor cost also. Labor cost, how we will calculate labor cost? First I will write for the first method, that is for the Taylor's method. I will write the labor cost. I'll write here only labor cost per unit for X, for Y, for Z. What is the amount paid under Taylor's method? For X, 460 460.80 paid for manufacturing 96 units. 96 units. For Y, he manufactured triple 1 units and he got paid 799.20 for manufacturing triple 1 units. Next, third person got paid 864 rupees for manufacturing 126 units. So I can say labor cost per unit 460.80 divided by 96, that is 4.8 per the labor cost per unit. For Y, 799.20 divided by 111 units, that is 7.2 per unit. This is the labor cost. 864 divided by 126, that is 6.85 or 86 per unit. Alright, now we will move to the next question. Here only it is given. Third question. Time allowed for a job is 48 hours. I can say this is a standard time. Time allowed for a job is 48 hours. A worker takes 40 hours to complete a job. Means actually he has taken, actual time taken is 40 hours. Time rate per hour is 15 rupees. Time rate per hour 15 rupees per hour. Compute the total earnings of the worker. Compute the total earnings of worker. Compute the total earnings of the worker. Actually in the question it is missed under methods. Actually there are the methods. Under Halsey premium, this is missed in the question. Halsey premium, and next one is row 1. See first one, I will check. First one, Halsey premium. I'll write the formula and I'll explain you the question as well. Halsey premium, the formula is actual hours worked, that is H, into rate per hour. This is for the total earnings. I am writing the formula for the total earnings. Total earnings under Halsey premium. Actual hours worked into rate per hour plus 50% of time saved, that is standard hours minus actual hours into rate per hour. Okay, here actual hours, how many hours he took? He took 40 hours for completing the job. So 40 hours. What is the rate per hour? Rate per hour is given 15 rupees plus 50% of standard hours 48 minus actual hours 40 into rate per hour 15. So 40 into 15 is nothing but 600 this side, and next 48 minus 40 into 15 into 50%, that is 60. So I can say 660 rupees is the total earnings under Halsey premium. This is a expected question in the examination. Halsey premium, Rohan and all expected questions for 4 marks or 8 marks. Depends upon the situation. You may get for the 4 marks or 8 marks. You can expect this question. Next one. Next second bit, that is a Rohan. For this the formula is same for the total earnings. Total earnings, actual hours into rate per hour plus year. Time saved is how much? Standard hours minus actual hours is only your time saved. Here we will be seeing the proportionate basis. How many hours I gave you as a standard hours, in how many actual hours you completed it, into rate per hour. So here actual hours you took 40 hours, rate per hour is 15 rupees plus standard hours 48 minus actual hours 40 divided by 48 into 40 into 15. See how to remember this one. See, 48 minus 40 is nothing but the time saved. Time saved. Here, if you want, I'll write the formula here. Actual hours into rate per hour plus time saved. Time saved is nothing but the time which I gave you, the time you took. The difference between that is the time saved. This should be on the proportionate basis. What is the standard time I gave you and what is the actual time you took it, into rate per hour, right? So here 40 into 15 is 600 plus 48 minus 40 divided by 48 into 40 into 15, that is 100. Total answer is 700 rupees. That is the total earnings under Rohan system. Right, there are 2 more formulas I will tell. Actually in the question they were not asked, but I will tell you. You can learn this one also. This is the next formula, Halsey. This is also Halsey where plan. Under this formula, same thing. Here also actual hours into rate per hour plus here 33.33% into standard hours minus actual hours, that is nothing but time saved into rate per hour. So actual hours you took 40 hours, rate per hour is 15 plus 33.33% of time saved, that is 48 minus 40 into rate per hour 15. So I can say this is a 600 plus 48 minus 40 into 15 into 33.33% is 400. I can say the 40, not 400, 40. So I can say the answer is 640 rupees. And the next one is birth variable sharing plan. Sometimes this question, see the same question, if it is given in the examination, it will be asked in the examination for 8 marks. Each method carries 2 marks. So here the formula for total earnings, rate per hour into standard hours minus standard hours into actual hours under root. So rate per hour is 15, standard hours 48 hours, actual hours 40 hours under root. So I can say 48 into 40 under root into 15 is 657 rupees under this birth sharing variable sharing method. Done? Understood? Next one. This is the labor turnover. We'll solve this problem also. During October 2005, the following information is obtained from the personnel department of a manufacturing company. Okay, labor force at the beginning of the month is 1900 and at the end of the month is 2100. During the month, 25 people left while 40 persons were discharged. 28 workers were engaged, out of which only 30 were appointed in the vacancy created by the number of workers separated, and the rest on account of expansion scheme. Calculate the labor turnover by different methods. Here I will write the question as it is here. This is under personal department, that is the HR department of the company, manufacturing company. Labor force at the beginning of the year. So I can tell you that this is the opening employees. Opening employees we had 1900. At the end of the month 2100. End of the month we have 2100 employees. During the month 25 employees left employees 25. 40 persons discharged. 280 workers were engaged, out of 280 were engaged, out of which only 30 were appointed in the vacancy created by the number of workers separated. See, additions done, that is 280, out of which 30 only in place of vacancy created by the number of workers left or separated. In the sense, 30 workers are substituted in the place of separated employees. In the sense, resigned, maybe firing also, maybe like a resignation also. Due to any reason, if you are leaving the organization, that is a separated. So 30 employees are only in the place of replacement, and the remaining in the place of expansion in the sense expanding the business, or maybe expanding the employee count. The rest on the account of the expansion scheme. Calculate the labor turnover by different methods. For this, first I will write the formulas, then I will explain you what is the labor turnover and all. So, labor turnover under different methods. What are the methods we have for the labor turnover? First one is A, additions method. Under this additions method, I will say labor turnover under additions method. Number of additions took place during the month. Number of additions took place divided by average number of employees. So if you see the question here, additions, how many additions took place here? 280 additions took place. So I will say 280 divided by average number of employees. I will write here in the working note, average employees, that is opening plus closing, divided by 2 is 1900 plus 2100 divided by 2 is 2000 employees. This is a working note. 280 divided by 2000 into 100. 280 divided by 2000 into 100, that is 14%. 14% is the labor turnover under additions method. Next one, separation method. Under separation method, see, left one and discharge one, both are left the organization. They are separated from the organization. They are no more working in the organization. So I will say 25 plus 40 divided by average number of employees 2000 into 100. So I will write first formula. Number of separations divided by average number of employees during the period. So number of separations, this one 25 plus 40 divided by average number of employees 2000 into 100 is 25 plus 40 divided by 2000 into 100 is 3.25%. Next method is replacement method. Under the replacement method, here I will write number of replacements, only replacements divided by average number of employees into 100, everywhere into 100, right? Number of replacements, see here I said 280 employees admitted or joined, out of which 30 employees for the separated, see, to fulfilling the place of the employees who were already working. In the sense, these 30 people are joined in place of the employees who resigned the job or who left the organization. But remaining 280 minus 30 is 250. These 250 employees have joined for the expansion purpose. So here sorry, one second. No? So here number of replacements, only 30 people are replaced means the existing employee left the organization in place of the employee who left the organization. These 30 people joined. So 30 is the replacements. Number of replacements are 30. So I can say 30 replacements and an average 2000 employees during the month. That is 30 divided by 2000 into 100 is 1.5%. Labor turnover as per the replacement method is 1.5%. The last one is flux method. Under this flux method, formula is, here we will be taking additions as well as the separations also. Here the formula for this is average of number of additions plus number of separations, number of additions plus number of separations divided by same average number of employees during the month, average number of employees during the period into 100. So half of number of additions, come back here, 280 employees got admitted or joined, 280 number of employees addition 280, half of 280 employees joined plus separated, how many employees are separated, 25 left, 40 discharged, 25 plus 40 overall half of divided by average number of employees 2000, just now we have seen, into 100. So this one 280 plus 25 plus 40 divided by 2 is 17.25 divided by 2000 equal to 172.5 divided by 2000 is 8.63. Right? Thank you.